Hi everybody, I'm Miss Perkins and I just wanted to make a quick video to help you understand how or at least what my goal is for how grades should work. So here we go. I'm going to use a regular grading scale, so A, B, C through no credit. And these are minimum percentages. So if you have 83.1%, you'd get a B. If you have 82%, you'd get a B minus. And as of right now, I have no weighted categories in gradebook, meaning I know in the past we've often done like 20% is your homework and 80% is your tests. In distance learning, I don't think that's going to work. The categories, and I'm going to go into all of those in a second, are coursework, projects, and reflections. My goal is to be as transparent as I can about how points and grades are allotted. I'm not going to try to hide stuff from you. I will normally tell you when you work on a project or something how many points it's going to be worth. And I'll give you an idea about what that looks like. And if things change, because I might find out like, whoa, this was a terrible idea, I shouldn't have done this. I will let you know in multiple formats. I'll put it up on Google Classroom. I might email you. I will change the syllabus. I will give you lots of notice, but this is how we're going to start the year, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So what's coursework? Coursework is just like homework problems, check-in quizzes, Desmos activities, like stuff that we do in the regular mill of things. But important to note here is not all coursework is going to go into the gradebook. And this is for the very real reason that I do not want to waste my time spending hours and hours and hours checking off like 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, and then I fall asleep. Because that's not giving you meaningful feedback and it's not helpful for me. So it's a huge waste of my time. Another thing is that if you guys have work on these 5 problems, 99% of the time, I'm going to give you an answer key. I might even give you a video answer key of me working out the problems in one way. Now, this doesn't mean like if I'm not checking off or I'm not giving you points for a specific assignment that it is not worth your time. It is worth your time. I try very hard to not waste your time. But what it means is that I want that's time to practice. It's not time to perform, right? Like that's time to figure out, is it working? Is it not working? What do I understand? What do I not understand? And that's also why I give you guys answer keys. And it also seems like a silly thing for me to spend lots of time in giving you 2 points here and 3 points there and 2 points here for working on a problem that you have an answer key for. And that seems kind of silly. So what I might do, and we'll kind of see how things are working in distance learning. I can definitely see me saying like, okay, everybody worked on that set of problems the other day. Would you do me a favor and everybody submit pictures of number 3? And then I can give you specific feedback on that. And that also might just be a check, because if you don't have a picture of number 3, then maybe that is a signal like, okay, it seems like people are really not doing their homework and we need to figure out a new way of doing things. These are generally going to be 5 points or less, so it shouldn't be a super big deal. So that's coursework. Projects are going to be the bigger things. These could be a presentation, they could be a video, they could be some sort of like, I give you a Google Doc and 4 of you collaborate on solving some sort of problem. And I put tests in quotation marks. I'm not going to do a thing where I like ask you to turn on your camera and I try to like prevent you from using the internet to get a test or do a test. Like that's not going to happen. I might do like a Google form checkup of like, hey, are you understanding? You're not understanding. And in that case, it is not helpful for you if you cheat or like use some other thing. Like I'm trying to figure out what you understand. So we might do things like that. And those actually probably wouldn't fit into projects. So I don't know why I put that in there, but, I'm thinking like a more of a summative thing. That's what projects would be. And I will be as clear as I can with you about what those look like. And these are generally going to be more points because they're going to take more of your time. They'll be somewhere 20 to 60-ish points. Kind of hard to say, depends on the thing. So like the internal assessment, if you're in my HL2 class, that's probably closer to 60 points, maybe even more, we'll see. And then the question that I know is coming is like, can I retake it? And the answer is maybe. If it's a project that we've worked on for 3 weeks and like I've had you submitting stuff, then probably not, because hopefully we're at a point where you should have a good idea of how you're doing when you submit something. If it's something that was quick and fast and like you have a really good reason for why it was not the work that you wanted it to be, then talk to me, okay? I try very hard to be reasonable, and I cannot stress this enough. Please tell me about any problem you're having early on. If you are overwhelmed by something, talk to me. If something is going on at home and you just can't focus on your math work, talk to me, right? And that doesn't mean you have to tell me this horrible sob story. You can just say like, Ms. Perkins, it's too much right now. Like, I need an extension, or Ms. Perkins, I am super lost and I don't know what to do. Like, what can we do? I will work with you. That's literally my job. My job is to teach you, not to punish you because something is going on in your life. But the earlier that you can tell me about it, the better. I definitely have had kids say like, Ms. Perkins, I didn't do this thing that we've been working on for 3 months. Can I have an extension? And probably not in that case if it's like due tomorrow, but I will be reasonable. Just let me know, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And then reflections. This is the thing that I actually like to spend some time on this year, okay? In thinking about how can I make my time well used and how can I give you reasonable, good, solid feedback. Reflections is what makes sense to me. So my current plan is for the bulk of our like regular work to be this. And so rather than an example of this is like, instead of giving you a homework credit for solving 10 questions out of the book, I might once a week, and that's the plan right now, once a week, ask you a question. So like the example I gave here is factoring quadratics. So instead of having you solve a bunch of those problems, maybe what I would do is ask you to write a paragraph with some examples of like, what are the benefits of factored quadratic form? And if I'm asking you this question, it's going to be a thing you're familiar with. So if you don't know how to answer that question right now, that's fine. But if I'm asking you this question, it's something that we have been working on. So, or another example would be create 2 examples, not in any of our coursework problems. So I want you to create new examples of 1, an easily factorable quadratic, 2, a quadratic that cannot be factored without the quadratic formula. And if you can do that, that shows me that you have a really solid idea of what's going on. And if you can't do that, it's going to be really clear to me in what you submit so that I can then give you meaningful feedback. My goal is that at least once a week for all 125 students that I have, that I give you some written or verbal or video or some sort of feedback, like you specifically, not the class, like you intentionally. And so my hope is that with reflections, I can do that. So again, the goal here is that I waste less time checking homeworks for when you have answer keys and more time giving you meaningful feedback. That's my goal. My goal is also once per week, and those will likely be about 10 points. As with all of this, it is subject to change, right? If I find that it's not working and like, oh my God, reflections are the worst idea I've ever had, we'll change it. I want class to be useful for you. I want my feedback to be useful for you. I want you to feel like you're getting something out of class and that you're able to progress and learn. And that's why I'm starting this way. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll change. But that's how we're going to start. And let me know if you have questions. You could even just like pop them in the comments right here. Thanks.